I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Our school districts in our area doing everything they possibly can to protect our children. The Connecticut school tragedy was the impetus for an Orange County school safety brainstorming session today, featuring school and law enforcement officials. And in the end, conversation turned to funding. If more security is added and improvements made, where will the money come from? While districts indicate an interest in increasing police presence in their buildings, the scarcity of funding from Washington and Albany could lead to a regional approach to provide the needed resources, including the use of retired police officers, plus the possibility of reallocating existing school funding for additional security.
You'll see an increase of police presence in some of the school districts, if not all of the school districts. From the police side, that was the main focus of the conversation, how to get more visibility of SROs and/or retired police officers into the school to protect our children. Obviously, the school administrators are on board with that, but on both sides, who's going to pay for that?
It's very unlikely, unfortunately, that there's going to be significant resource help from either the state or the federal government. Whatever is done to improve our situation, we believe we pretty much have to take care of ourselves.
About 80 people attended today's forum. A scaled-down meeting will be held in a couple of weeks, where specific school safety recommendations may be brought forward. Call it the rebirth of a long vacant hospital. Today, plans were announced for the lease of the former Horton Hospital facility in Middletown by Touro College of Osteopathic Medicine. The New York City-based healthcare system will use Horton as a branch campus and training center for students who would then be able to fill needed medical positions at our area hospitals. Touro President Dr. Alan Kadish says it's a win-win for the college and Middletown.
It's a good fit for the community and a good fit for the building. It's a good fit for the building because it was a hospital building and has a lot of the services we need to start a medical school. And it's a good fit for the community because the kind of students we're training here are students who are interested in a holistic primary care approach to medicine, osteopathic medical students with a superb faculty, superb administration, who we believe will really contribute to improving the public health of the community here. And we plan to innovate in medical education in Middletown as well.
Pending final approvals, Touro will enter into a long-term lease with the property owner, the Danza Lesser Group, that will then invest $24 million to renovate the former Horton Hospital building. Another $1 million will come from the state's Regional Council program. The plans also include development of 250 units of housing for students and faculty. Now, when fully operational, the new medical school would enroll more than 500 students and create an estimated 800 new jobs. They came to make noise about the noise. About a dozen people who live near the Monticello Motor Club spoke out during a public information session held by the Town of Thompson Planning Board last evening. The residents sounded off about noise levels generated by the racing cars. Those who spoke questioned a sound study conducted by a consulting firm that found excessive noise to be a problem in only one area near the private racetrack on Cantrell Road. Monticello Motor Club officials are seeking an environmental approval from the planning board so they can construct more buildings on site. Those who spoke out last night made it clear they want sound barriers erected and a requirement that the high-powered race cars have mufflers. A pledge to spend less, that's what members of the Orange County Chamber of Commerce heard from our region's state legislators this morning, the day after Governor Andrew Cuomo's State of the State address that kicks off this year's legislative session. Lawmakers attending the breakfast forum generally praised Cuomo's accomplishments during his first 2 years in office, but Republican Senator John Bonasek questioned what state program initiatives can be pursued given tight budgets and the pledge of no new state taxes.
The governor's speech was presidential. All the things that he talked about, I think he was showing off his skills of how much knowledge he knows and what he could do in a variety of areas if he were a president. But realistically, we do not have the money in this state to support all of those goals. They are worthwhile goals, but until we have revenue enhancers, there's limited amount that we can do because we're not raising taxes.
Bonasek said Senate Republicans may go for a hike in the minimum wage to $8.75 an hour if it is tied to tax credits for small business. And he was optimistic legislators will okay the second passage of a constitutional amendment this session, paving the way for a voter referendum on the creation of non-Indian Las Vegas-style gambling casinos at still-to-be-decided upstate locations. He shot his victim 9 times. The victim, Leonidas Guzman, survived. Well, today the shooter, 31-year-old Freddy Gutierrez Pinto, was sentenced to 20 years in prison on attempted murder and assault charges in connection with the August 2011 shooting incident in the city of Newburgh. When he's released from prison, Gutierrez Pinto faces deportation to his native Guatemala. And in Kingston, more troubles at the Washington Avenue tunnel, where city officials say more leaks have been discovered. Past leaking from the tunnel created a sinkhole near Linderman Avenue back in April. That led to the closing of a section of Washington Avenue and a repair bill of around $1.5 million. Estimates are the latest repairs will cost around $132,000, with work expected to begin in March. The city engineer labeled these latest leaks minor. There's some rain in the local forecast, but also some milder temperatures. Friday will be cloudy with showers expected by later in the day. The highs will reach the mid-40s. Saturday will be partly cloudy and temperatures will climb well into the mid-50s. And that will melt off much of our remaining snow. When news breaks, you will find it right here at Record Online and get all the information plus the news about events coming up this weekend. That's in tomorrow's Times Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.